Ice cream. The thing your doctor told you to quit, the thing that you think is the enemy. Well, when I eat this ice cream, it helps control my blood sugar. And my next A1c is going to be lower than it was 6 months ago. I'm Stephen Michael Smith, and I've lived with this disease for almost 60 years. And today I'm ranking the 5 best ice creams for a diabetic and the 3 you need to run away from. Some of these diabetic-friendly ones on the shelf right now, they're worse than a candy bar. So stick around.
Here's a fact that surprises almost everyone. It's not the ice cream part that spikes your blood sugar. Ice cream, at its core, is just frozen, blended, cold stuff. The problem was never the concept. It's what's mixed into it. Refined sugar and added dairy fat working together, dumping more fuel into your bloodstream than your cells can handle. Strip those two things out, and dessert stops being a landmine. Let's talk about why that combination is so dangerous, because this is the part almost nobody explains. It's called the Randle Cycle. When your muscle cells are already packed full of fat from years of high-fat eating, they physically can't pull glucose out of your bloodstream anymore. The door is jammed, so the sugar just backs up in your blood, and that's what shows up as a high reading on your meter and eventually as a rising A1c. Regular ice cream hits both triggers at the exact same time, a flood of sugar and a flood of fat landing on cells that are already overwhelmed. Whole food, plant-based frozen desserts don't do that. No added fat to jam the door, and the sugar comes wrapped in fiber instead of running in raw.
So here's what we're doing today. 5 recipes, ranked, that Stephen actually eats. Not diabetic desserts that taste like punishment. Real bowls of ice cream that happen to love your blood sugar back. And then 3 products sitting on your grocery shelf right now wearing a diabetic-friendly label that are doing the exact opposite. Let's start with the best. The 5 best, ranked. Number 1. Classic Banana Vanilla Nice Cream. This is the gateway drug, and we mean that in the best way possible. If you've never made ice cream before, this is where you start, because it takes 4 minutes and tastes like a milkshake. 3 frozen ripe bananas, sliced before freezing, 1 splash unsweetened plant milk, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract. Blend until smooth and creamy. You'll need to stop and scrape the sides once or twice. That's the whole recipe. No added sugar because the banana is doing all the work. And here's the trick almost nobody knows. Freezing the banana first actually drops its glycemic impact even further because freezing forms something called resistant starch. Starch your body handles more like fiber than sugar. So freezing isn't just for texture. It's doing you a favor.
Chocolate Peanut Butter Power Bowl. If you thought dessert and good for your blood sugar couldn't be in the same sentence, wait until you taste this one. 2 frozen bananas, 2 tablespoons unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon natural peanut butter, no oil or sugar added, pinch of cinnamon. Blend until it looks like soft serve coming out of the machine. Here's the bonus most people miss. Real cocoa powder is loaded with flavonoids, plant compounds that have been shown to actually support insulin sensitivity. So this bowl isn't just not bad for you, it's doing double duty while it tastes like a candy bar. Mango Sunrise Sorbet. This one's for anyone who wants something bright and tropical instead of rich and creamy. 2 cups frozen mango chunks, 1/2 cup frozen pineapple, juice of 1/2 lime. Blend until it's the texture of soft sorbet. No banana base needed here at all. The whole fruit fiber in mango and pineapple slows the sugar release, so you get real sweetness without the spike you'd expect from something this vibrant. Bright, tropical, and stupidly easy. This is a 5-minute recipe from freezer to bowl.
Number 4. Berry Berry Cashew Swirl. This is the one that tastes like you cheated. You didn't. 1 cup raw cashews, soaked 4+ hours. 1 cup frozen mixed berries. 2 soft dates, pitted. Blend the soaked cashews and dates first until they turn into a thick, creamy base. That's your ice cream texture right there. Then fold in the frozen berries so you get color swirls instead of a fully blended smoothie. Berries are some of the lowest glycemic impact fruit on the planet, packed with fiber and antioxidants, and this bowl genuinely tastes like a splurge from an ice cream shop. Number 5. Pumpkin Spice Dream. Last but not least, the one that tastes like fall any time of year. 2 frozen bananas, 1/2 cup pure pumpkin puree, 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg, 2 soft dates pitted. Blend everything together until smooth. You'll get that classic pumpkin pie in a bowl flavor. Pumpkin brings fiber and a big dose of vitamin A along for the ride, and cinnamon itself has research behind it for supporting healthy blood sugar response. This is dessert doing the opposite of what dessert normally does. Now for the part of this video the ice cream aisle doesn't want you to see. These 3 are all marketed directly at diabetics, and all 3 deserve a hard pass. Worst number 1, sugar-free maltitol ice cream. Brands like Breyer's No Sugar Added lean on a sugar alcohol called maltitol to get that sugar-free label on the front of the carton. Here's the problem. Maltitol carries a glycemic index as high as 52. That is not zero impact. That's a slow-motion spike wearing a disguise. And if you eat enough of it, maltitol has a well-documented laxative effect, which is not the surprise you want after dessert. Rule of thumb: the second you see sugar-free on the front, flip it over and read past the marketing. Worst number 2, commercial frozen yogurt. Frozen yogurt gets marketed as the healthy swap for ice cream, and that's exactly the trap. Strip the fat out of a frozen dessert and you lose the thing that made it taste rich, so manufacturers almost always add more sugar back in to compensate for the mouthfeel and flavor they just removed. A lot of froyo brands on the shelf today actually carry more sugar per serving than the regular ice cream sitting right next to them. Worst number 3, low-fat, fat-free ice cream. Same trick, different aisle, different decade. Fat is one of the things that naturally slows sugar absorption in your gut. Take the fat out, and you need something else to carry the texture, so manufacturers reach for added sugar or corn syrup instead. Low fat on the label sounds like a win. It almost never is. So here's the real rule, and it's simpler than any of the marketing on those cartons. It was never about ice cream versus no ice cream. It's about what's actually sitting in the bowl. Whole fruit instead of refined sugar. Whole nuts instead of added fat. Real spices instead of chemical flavoring. That's the whole difference between a dessert that fights you and a dessert that's actually on your side.
So there it is. 5 bowls that taste like a cheat day and won't touch your A1c. And 3 tubs at the store that are lying to your face. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a salesman. 60 years with type 1, and I do eat this ice cream. And I do not worry about it one bit. Try one of these 5 this week and tell me which one you made. For a lot more diabetic information, check out the link in the comments. That's not managing it. That's dominating it.